the humility to come in and say, I'm young, I'm evolving. I've been around some former NBA players who tried to coach in college, and let's just say that humility might have been lacking.
His team in blue, Houston's in white, underway in the 24-25 season. 2 exhibitions for Jackson State. Most recently lost in overtime against Southern Miss. Houston, of course, beat Texas A&M here at home 8 days ago. 2 on the shot clock, first possession, and it ends with a travel. Good defense from Emmanuel Sharp.
Interesting, Mo Williams talked about he wants to run his offense through his big fella, Shannon Grant, and that time he was extended up above the top of the key almost the entire possession. Interesting first set for Jackson State.
Here is the Houston lineup. Still no Javier Francis, being careful with his groin injury. Uzan, Cryer, Sharp, Roberts, and Tugler for Coach Kelvin Sampson. Here is Tugler spinning, and he draws a foul, and that's one of the problems there for Shannon Grant. He fouled out against Southern Miss in the exhibition last weekend in only 26 minutes.
He perhaps isn't in the best shape you would want a college center, and what that tells you is late in the game, he's going to be subjected, or he's going to be more likely to get into foul trouble. Mo Williams can't have him getting fouled in the first 3 minutes of this game.
Great inbounds play, ends with a corner 3 from Milos Uzan.
Milos Uzan looked so good against Texas A&M. We saw him, he had on a mask. He broke his nose playing without that mask here this evening.
A quick recovery from that broken nose. As we see the Jackson State lineup. Tatum, Hunt, Reyna, Grant, and Mansell. Here is Grant beyond the three-point line. 3 to shoot. Fade away is short. Uzan has the rebound. Cryer lost the handle and he's fouled. That was Reyna diving for the loose ball.
I'm not a big fan of that call. All right, you got 2 guys hustling after the basketball. The ball's loose. Reyna's got as much right to jump on the ball as LJ Cryer, and I don't know about that one.
Uzan, the transfer from Oklahoma, 2 years of eligibility remaining, including this year. He was a 2-year starter, very durable. He enters tonight's game 52 consecutive starts. There's Cryer. Roberts grabs the offensive rebound and had it stripped by Reyna.
Good transition defense by Emmanuel Sharp.
Open 3 off the mark. Uzan grabs the rebound. He's fouled. That's 2 already from Juan Reyna.
Well, Juan Reyna, again, Mo Williams describes him as good of a shooter as there is in the country. And, boy, that was a silly foul, just reaching over the back. And that's an easy call for the officials.
He came off the bench and had 20 points in 25 minutes, including 5 threes against Southern Miss. He starts tonight and gets 2 fouls inside 2 minutes.
I watched him in warmups, and he has got a beautiful release, really an exaggerated arch on his jump shot.
Roberts spinning, had his shot blocked. Good defense from Romel Mansell.
Well, Romel Mansell is physical. He and JoJo Tugler are really banging down in the paint.
Running start for Tatum, good pass, and a layup from Shannon Grant. Shannon Grant, 5th-year senior, transfer from Florida A&M. He transfers within the SWAC to Mo Williams and Jackson State. Extra step there before the jump stop. A travel called on JoJo Tugler.
One 100th game for Kelvin Sampson in the Fertitta Center, 96-3 all time.
We saw Mo Williams there, 3rd year at Jackson State after 2 years at Alabama State.
I said 96-3, 93-6.
6 losses since this building opened in December of 2018, about 1 per year, a perfect season last year. And they enter tonight's game the longest home win streak in the country.
Boy, that was a terrible shot by JoJo Tugler.
Armel Mansell grabs the rebound. He didn't play against Southern Miss. He's back in the lineup. Good feed inside, and Tugler with the rejection after some hesitation there from Shannon Grants.
Kevion Hunt with a nice find. That's the second time on the ball screen. Kevion Hunt has made a beautiful pass, and big fellow takes a power dribble. Look at him. He's looking over his left shoulder at JoJo Tugler instead of just going up strong.
Reed, he's 6'11". He doesn't need a shot fake there.
No, you go up there and dunk it.
Chase down dunk there from Tugler. Here is Uzan spinning for Tugler.
Yeah, what a nice find by Milos Uzan. Well, you know, we've only seen him in that exhibition game, but Uzan always has his head up. He is always looking for the open man.
Shannon Grant fakes the handoff, lost his balance. Houston ball.
Well, Milos Uzan making a nice find. Watch him spinning into the lane, draws the defense to him, and well, that's how you finish if you're JoJo. Kelvin Sampson looks at the rankings to start this basketball season. Not only is Iowa State in the top 5, there are 5 Big 12 teams in the top 10 to start this season. Is that a gauntlet?
Arizona picked 5th in the preseason poll.
Iowa State, BYU is going to be good. Colorado is going to be good. It is going to be an unbelievable run through the Big 12.
Tugler open 3. He hits.
Wow. Let me say again, wow. He did not hesitate to pull the trigger. Before the last game, somebody asked Kelvin Sampson, said, hey, JoJo's been working on his 3. Does he have a green light? And the answer was no.
Nice help defense from Roberts for the steal. Uzan already 3 points, 2 boards, 2 assists in the first 5 minutes. Roberts working on Mansell. Tapped out by Tugler.
Boy, JoJo is setting really physical screens.
Crier's shot was blocked. Here come the Tigers. That was Mitchell who rose to reject LJ Crier.
Jamie Mitchell only played 9 games last year before getting injured and was out for most of the season. In fact, 2 or 3 guys. Ruffin was out, didn't play all year. Mitchell, Mansell only played 2 games last year.
A strip and a throw out to Emmanuel Sharp. He does finish off the glass. Seven straight for the Cougars in the last 2 minutes. Eight on the shot clock for Jackson State. They brought on 5 in the exhibition game around this spot. This time they bring in 4 off the bench.
Mo Williams talks about the importance of depth. He said, what did you learn from last year? And he said, we were not deep enough. If we had more bodies, more rotational players, he felt like they would have won a few more games. Finished the season 15-7, 11-7 in the WAC.
Offensive rebound. They were a very good offensive rebounding team last year. 15-footer, another offensive board. You don't see that often against Houston. 2 offensive rebounds on the same possession for the opponent.
Yeah, you talked about their rebounding. They were not a very good rebounding team. They only averaged 23 rebounds per game, and yet they were a great offensive rebounding team. Averaged 14 offensive rebounds per game.
Technical given to Jackson State for having 6 players on the floor. They made a sub right before that inbounds play, and there was some confusion. It was almost as if that one of the players, because he was standing right in front of us and never went to it. Here you see the 6 players.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's hard to match up, right?
Penalty, too many men on the field.
Well, I saw the whole coaching staff for U of H. They were jumping up and yelling. I was like, what are they yelling about? And Kelvin had at the 6 on 2 hands. I was like, 15. I'm looking, well, who's he mad at? Number 15.
Cryer goes to the line, makes the first.
You know what? The only thing crazier than they had 6 guys on the floor, they didn't score. A lot of times you play Houston, and when they're on defense, you think, man, they've got like 8 guys out here guarding us.
It probably explains the 2 offensive rebounds. They had that possession. L.J. Cryer, 5th-year senior, Naismith Player of the Year watch list. First team all Big 12 in the preseason poll alongside his teammate, Jawan Roberts. I would not want to inbound against JoJo Tugler.
No, that is so difficult. Those long arms and athletic, what should be a routine inbound play. Look how hard that is trying to get the ball over or around JoJo Tugler.
There's a 3-pointer off the mark. And it's saved off of Sharp. Jackson State ball. Good play from Marcus Watson Jr.
Marcus Watson's only 5'10". Watch him come in and knock that ball off of Emmanuel Sharp. Really nice play.
Shot fake to the paint. Long jump stop. And a blocking foul is called against Emmanuel Sharp.
I remember last year, the new rule change. You have to draw a charge on a driving player. You have to be set before his plant foot hits the ground. It used to be that you had to be set before his plant foot left the ground. But here, that's a good call. You see Emmanuel Sharp, he slides in and the plant foot clearly was already on the wood. That's a good call. Nice piece of officiating.
Brett Smith, Tommy Johnson, Roland Simmons are referees tonight. A free throw miss from Jamie Mitchell Jr., redshirt sophomore from Jackson. He's one of 5 from Jackson, one of 9 on the roster for Mississippi. He began his career at Alabama State, played for Mo Williams there before transferring back to Jackson State. Mo Williams started his head coaching career at Alabama State, then moved within the SWAC to Jackson State.
Yeah, Juan Reyna was also a teammate on that, so strange that they start with Mo at one SWAC school, change schools, come back, and here they are playing together again.
Cryer running the offense. Contested 3, no problem for Terrence Arsenault. His first official game back from the Achilles injury suffered against Texas A&M last winter.
Wow.
Here's Cryer. Hits!
Yeah, look, credit JoJo Tugler for that play. In transition offense, L.J. Cryer's just staying behind JoJo, and he sets a nice down screen for a pretty wide open jump shot for Cryer.
It's interesting, we were talking about Tugler hadn't played basketball since August after his injury. He does not look rusty tonight.
No, he looks really good. That three-pointer he shot was like, watch this right here. Look at JoJo Tugler to the right of your screen. He's looking for who's guarding L.J. Cryer. Listen, that's really a heads-up, sound basketball play by JoJo Tugler.
Ramon Walker Jr. returns. Tugler gets a break. And there's a deep 3 off the back iron. Good tough rebound pulled in by Canaville. Roberts gets the ball in the end. Dylan Canaville with the offensive rebound and the miss put back. He's a transfer from Southeastern Louisiana. Sharp lost it on the way up. It stays with Houston as we hit our under 12-minute media timeouts. Houston on a 15-1 run and leading by 15 first half in Houston.
It's hard to explain what this feels like.
Mo Williams down 15 early inside for Tita Center. Let's go back to the court with Austin Ivan.
Hey, Matt, when Mo Williams got the head coaching position at Jackson State, the first person he called was Trey Johnson, a former NBA player with great knowledge for the game, but most importantly, he was high school teammates with Mo Williams, and they have been best friends ever since. Trey played at Jackson State himself, where he averaged 29 points per game, making him the second highest scorer in college basketball that season, and he was named the SWAC Player of the Year. He now plays a big role in recruiting, where he shares his story that you can have success at this school and get to the next level. His testament has helped land some big recruits and transfers for the Tigers.
Now, Trey Johnson and his best friend Mo Williams are picked to finish 4th in the SWAC in the preseason. Grambling 1, TSU 2, and Southern 3.
Turnover and a fast break for Jackson State. Missed layup holding by Ramon Walker Jr. We see Mylik Wilson, who's entered the game for the first time. He's on the ball here for Houston. Kick out for Ramon Walker Jr.
You know, Ramon Walker checks into a basketball game and good things start happening. I guarantee you he'll be on the floor here in about 10 seconds for a loose ball. He'll draw a charge. He'll knock down a shot. It is amazing the impact he has on the minutes that he plays.
And there's a 3 from the opposite corner. Jalen Tatum Jr. out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Well, so far the Cougars have been very efficient. 6 assists on 7 made field goals.
Uzan back on the floor. Cryer gets a break. Uzan attacking, had his shot blocked. Good defense on the opposite side from Dylan Canoville. Open 3 off the heel from Hoover. Arsenault after the clear out. Pulls up and hits.
Yeah, he's a tough matchup. You've got to go close out on him. He's already knocked down a 3, but the length and the ability, he creates such great separation. He elevates high, leans back, has long arms, and you get the feeling Terrence Arsenault can go get that shot anytime he wants it.
Roberts, excellent defense against Canoville. Wilson had his shot blocked. That's a goaltend. It hit the window before it hit the hands. Houston on a 13-3 run.
Canoville went in and lowered his shoulder on Juwan Roberts like he was going to muscle through him, and boy, that did not turn out very well. Canoville kind of bounced off of him like, oh crap, what did I hit? You hit Juwan Roberts, who's, if the Cougars hold on to win this game, will become the winningest player in Houston basketball history.
Inside for Tita Center. He's been here now in his 6th season.
Who's the winningest player? Fabian White? Is that right?
Fabian White is correct. And a layup on the opposite end for Jalen Tatum. Transfer from Holmes Community College. He is a dog. We heard that multiple times for Williams. Williams calls you a dog. That's definitely a compliment.
Said he wants to get 2 dogs in 1 basketball. Ooh.
Be careful, we had the injury last season, a broken foot. Amazing toughness for JoJo Tugler. He played 4 Big 12 games on a broken foot. They didn't discover the injury until the final x-ray.
Kept telling the coaches that his foot was hurting, and finally they went and took a look at it, and he was right.
A stolen inbounds play. Ramel Manziel grabs the ball for Jackson State. Manziel's from South Central LA, began his career at Long Beach State.
Mo Williams calls him the Joakim Noah kind of guy, a high energy, 8 points, 8 rebounds, but all of the intangibles. He is a physical kid. I mean, he checks in the game and he is putting his body on people.
He's got the hair and goatee like Noah as well. Wilson down court first for the layup. Marcus Watson Jr. He's from Chicago, Western Illinois before Mineral Area Community College, and now Jackson State.
JoJo Tugler playing great defense down in the post on Mansell.
Here's Reyna, tried the step back. 3 on the shot clock for Tatum. Line drive 3 off the mark. Uzan rebounds. Jackson State ball after the entry pass intended for Tugler. Houston rolling inside for Tita center. JoJo Tugler and his teammates in fine form here in the opener. As we see Wilson kick out to Ramon Walker Jr. And then a good response. Jackson State, a lay-in for Jalen Tatum. Houston up 19 of its last 9 field goals.
Mo Williams and Jackson State have made just 2 of their last 14. And well, the Tigers struggling and knocking down shots, shooting just 18% from the floor and 13% from the three-point line.
Tatum, Mansell, Reyna, Hunt, and Grant on the floor for Jackson State.
Ooh, that's a travel.
And a rejection from Sedlot, his first seconds in the game. Here comes Wilson, a pull-up. A bit short, Locke trying for the rebound. And spills away to McMillan.
And Sedlot in there guarding big Shannon Grant. That is some beef on the floor.
Uzan with the steal from McMillan. And out to Cryer.
You can always fall down, and as long as you don't flop, you have not established a pivot foot, and that is not traveling.
Cryer hits another 3.
Now the Cougars now are 7 of 8 from the three-point line.
LJ Cryer led the Big 12, 3 three-pointers per game last season. Entry pass inside into the double team. He stepped out of bounds. Turnover, Jackson State.
Milos Uzan already with 3 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, and 2 steals. And he has been all over the floor. And LJ Cryer just shooting the ball in rhythm, and he looks so comfortable. Same way he played against A&M. He was terrific against the Aggies in that exhibition game. Uzan looks good, doesn't he?
He sure does. Tugler spinning in the paint. Out to Uzan, 10 to shoot. High screen from Sedlot. Uzan with the 3. He hits!
Now the Cougars have blown this one wide open early on. Really impressed with Milos Uzan. He is, it looks like exactly what this team needed as they replaced Jamal Shead.
A foul against Houston. Well, you talked about it with Matt Thomas on the broadcast against Texas A&M. Many people are saying, how can he replace Jamal Shead? But that's not really the right question. It's how can he be Milos Uzan and just help this team?
It's a new team with a new identity, right? And if you start thinking, oh, we've got to replace Jamal Shead, I got news for you. You're not going to. You're not going to replace Jamal Shead, just like you're not going to replace Marcus Sasser. You're not going to replace Quentin Grimes. It is an all-new deal. All I know is the skill set. So teams as coaching staffs look at the portal. You know, some coaches just take everybody who's interested in them. Kelvin Sampson and Kellen and Quanis and Hollis, Casey Beard. They are very specific in what they go look for, and they find a fit. And boy, it looks like they absolutely nailed it with Milos Uzan.
Put back from Sharp out to the Cryer, missed 3, rebounded by Dorian McMillan. McMillan's a freshman, one of the best in the state, came out of high school last year. Look at that, Sedlot will throw it down.
Look at the bench. I mean, that may be the most dribbles Sedlot's ever taken in his life. Way to go, big fella.
Tugler comes over for the double team. And there's a travel here for Shannon Grant.
Yeah, how about big Sedlot? He is pumped up right now, and You know, I had a coach that used to say, you look like you needed a stick and you were trying to kill it when you're dribbling that ball down the floor. Big fella with a nice finish.
He played in 25 games last season. He was on the floor, as you talked about, in the Sweet 16 against Duke. Important second half minutes, and now we see Mercy Miller. He had an impressive debut in the exhibition against Texas A&M last week.
You know, it's interesting, Mercy Miller, the first 2 possessions looked completely lost, overwhelmed, was not very good on defense, and then just relaxed and realized, hey, this is basketball. And boy, did he look good shooting that basketball. Ended up 5 for 7, double figures, looked very smooth. So the challenge for Mercy Miller is going to be, can you learn to defend the way that Kelvin Sampson is going to demand that you defend? If you want to get into the rotation, if you want to play in January and February, boy, this is the end of the course you need to focus on. He's a natural, Matt, I'm telling you. Boy, he looks so much. I said Marcus Sasser earlier. His release and the way he turns and squares up and comes off down screens. He's a walking bucket.
4-star recruit, top 50 nationally by 247 Sports and ESPN Top 100. Offensive foul here against Jamie Mitchell Jr.
They're going to review that. The question is whether it was a basketball move or not, and look and see whether it was flagrant. And oh yeah, he's going to be ejected. That's going to be a flagrant one, and he's going to be ejected. He looked at him. You can't look at somebody, square him up, and then throw the elbow. That's not just a clear out move, or you sweep the ball down low, or a rip through. Boy, he sure looks like he looked right at him and threw that elbow intentionally. I'll be surprised if he's not ejected.
Emmanuel Sharp on the floor. Everything we hear about Emmanuel Sharp, better shape than last season. Last year he kind of grabbed that starting job when Damian Dunn was injured. Never lost it, had 30 points in the second round of the NCAA tournament when Houston beat Texas A&M in overtime. Now, Jamie Mitchell Jr. just on the bench watching as the officials talk this over again. Brett Smith, Tommy Johnson, and Roland Simmons, our crew tonight.
It's got to be a flagrant 2, right? I mean, it's got to be. You hate to eject somebody, and I don't think it was frustration as much as, not frustration over the score, it was frustration over, sometimes guys are such pests when they're defending you that yet you can't shake them. You can't run them off a screen, you can't back cut, you can't lose them, and sometimes you just shove them, right? Just out of pure frustration, and I think that's what that play was, and they're really looking at it, but golly, if he hadn't turned and looked kind of over his right shoulder, I think, and sized him up. And boy, that's hard to imagine that's not going to be determined to be intentional and excessive. I'm not sure there's that much to discuss, right? See, well, watch right here. Watch how he looks at Emmanuel Sharp. Sharp's up on him, and then he turns and he's looking over that right shoulder, and he's looking right at him. And that's not a basketball move.
After review of the play, we're upgrading the foul to an F1 foul.
Upgraded to a flagrant 1. Reader obviously surprised by that decision, just a flagrant 1.
You know, it's 35-8 in the first half of the first game.
Cryer back to the free throw line.
That was my way of not answering your question.
So the refs might be reading the room is what you're saying.
Yeah, might be reading the room.
Cryer first team all Big 12 in the preseason.
I'm going to let it go. That was a lot of debate to upgrade a common foul to an F1.
Cryer running the show. Uzan on the bench. Terrence Arsenault. Watt fighting for the rebound. He draws the foul here on Shannon Grant.
I'm telling you, you come off of a said lock screen, and man, it's like the parting of the Red Sea, right? You come off of him, and you have so much space and time. And I tell you what, said Lott's really playing well here in the first half.
Miller. Good touch on the inbounds play.
Yeah, a nice head fake. He drew the defense to him, looked up at the rim. The Cougars currently on a 14-0 run. Come on, Jackson State. You need to get to double figures at halftime.
Back to Grant. Offensive foul. His third. Tugler draws the charge.
You know, Jackson State had some success the first 2 or 3 possessions with that middle of the court pick and roll. And since then, the Cougars defense, JoJo Tugler and his teammates have completely eliminated that option.
An 18-2 run. Last 14 points scored by Houston. All Cougars first half of the season opener.
Greg Popovich is not someone Coach Sampson would consider a mentor, but one of his closest friends. They are always texting each other and recently got to spend some time together when Coach Popovich had Coach Sampson give a presentation to the Spurs coaching staff. Before the season started, Popovich was asked about Sampson's success, and his response was, I used to ask Manu why he was doing something, and he would say, because I'm Manu. So why is Coach Sampson great? Because he's Kelvin. He's a tough nut. He takes no prisoners. He takes no excuses.
And a corner three there from Cryer. Quick mention of Greg Popovich, who is dealing with a medical situation that started before Saturday's game. Assistant coach Mitch Johnson. Our thoughts are with Greg Popovich during this time, but good story from Austin.
I did not see. LJ Cryer did a jab step, and I think he stepped on the foot of Kevion Hunt, and Hunt ended up rolling his ankle. Watch the jab step. No, he just rolled it. That was his back foot, his right foot that he rolled.
Corner three, a little rainmaker that time from Juan Reyna, the San Antonio native.
Boy, talk about knocking down a contested shot. That's that arc I was telling you about. I watched him in warm-up, and that's his normal release.
From San Antonio, went to high school at Duncanville. There's Terrence Arsenault.
Yeah, that's a mismatch.
He loves that free throw line fadeaway.
He can get that shot anytime he wants. If you put a big guy on him, he's going to take you outside. You take someone smaller, he's going to get to that mid post. Boy, Terrence Arsenault looks really good.
Wearing 23, Reed, looking like a previous 23 with the fadeaway. And there's a travel. Extra step there from Jalen Tatum.
Yeah, that is now 13 turnovers for the Tigers. Terrence Arsenault, watch how he rises up and leans back and just creates that separation. He's got 2.5, 3 feet of separation over a shorter player already. Juan Reyna 6'3", Terrence Arsenault 6'6".
Cryer on the floor right now with Mercy Miller, JoJo Tugler, Arsenault, and Roberts. Interception on the backside from Dylan Canaville. Good strip that time from Juwan Roberts.
Yeah, late 14 turnovers in the first half.
Cryer inside for Juwan Roberts. Good shot fake and left-handed finish. 21-3 run for Houston. We see like a little bit of a celebration emerging from these Cougars. Hands to the floor after their makes. Reyna thought about the three. Peeking at the shot clock. A deep three. And a foul on the backside as we see Dylan Cannaville push off against Juwan Roberts.
Now, John Rothstein's got an interesting podcast. My son was telling me about it, that he listened to it. Kelvin Sampson talking about the importance of Juwan Roberts. And he just says, we can't win without Juwan playing his best. We already talked about that he's going to finish his career as the winningest player in Fertitta Center history. He's going to write his name. He's going to finish with 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. He becomes just the 4th Cougar to do that. How's this for a list? He puts his name on a list with Elvin Hayes, Akeem Olajuwon, and Greg Cadillac Anderson. Arguably the 4 best post players that ever played at the University of Houston. If you would have told me that about Juwan Roberts his freshman and sophomore year, I'd have said you're out of your mind. The improvement of this kid, the toughness, he now embodies everything that this program is about.
Kelvin Sampson also told Rothstein, other people talk about what Juwan Roberts can't do. We talk about what he can do, like that defensive play he just made.
Good ball movement.
A reverse layup, Juwan Roberts.
No, we learned something before the A&M game I've never heard before. Juwan Roberts was naturally a right-hander, and when he was young, he broke his arm, and he just started doing everything left-handed. The coaching staff, when he was a freshman, they contemplated switching him back to a righty. Who was that? Tristan Thompson that did that when he left Texas and got to the NBA, and they thought about it, but that explains why he is so ambidextrous down there with both hands.
A fadeaway is there. Dylan Cannaville, junior from Plantation, Florida. He transferred from southeastern Louisiana to Jackson State. Use it or lose it. Timeout used by Kelvin Sampson here with 22 seconds left in the first half.
Well, you say, why is Kelvin Sampson calling a timeout when it's 50-13 and 22 seconds? The reason is because you use these games to prepare. So he's going to talk about, here's a set, here's how we run into the clock situation at halftime. Here's what you get the clock to. The clock gets down to 8, 7. That's when you go, and here are the options that you're looking for. If I have any pet peeve about college basketball, it's kind of evolved into an NBA where every shot at the buzzer is a last-second shot. And I'd always rather that shot go up with 3 or 4 seconds left, because you seem to get a lot more buckets on the putback than on the original shot. Mo Williams spent a career in the NBA knocking down shots at the buzzer. Let's watch and see what play this out-of-timeout call by Kelvin Sampson.
Uzan will inbound. He has Arsenault and Miller in the backcourt, Tugler and Roberts in the front court. Uzan grew up in Las Vegas, 2 years at Oklahoma, now in his debut season with Houston.
Shot clock at 7.
It is Juwan Roberts. Perfect finish with the left hand. Halftime inside Fertitta Center. Juwan Roberts wants more from the students. Let's go down to the court with Austin Ivan.
Coach, 60% from the field, over 80 from 3. What's working on offense?
Sharing the ball and shot selection. You know, good shooting teams usually mean you're getting open shots, which mean your team's unselfish. And we are. These kids move the ball. They're playing hard at one end and unselfish at the other.
On the other side of that, Jackson State shooting around 22%. They've turned it over 14 times. What are you liking from defense?
Just being connected. You know, I think you have to have better chemistry on defense than you do offense. I mean, we have to stay connected. You know, we're working some new guys in, but we're making progress.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Matt.
Tugler attacks, gets his own miss, and then he's fouled. The other part of that equation, as we heard from Kelvin Sampson on John Rothstein's podcast, as we see a replay of this foul, it's another there on Shannon Grant. Part of holding out Javier Francis is it gives JoJo Tugler and Terrence Arsenal more playing time earlier in the season.
Yeah, you know, there's just no reason this time of the year. A growing injury is something that can linger all season long if you don't take care of it. And LJ Cryer comes out of the locker room picking up right where he left off.
Shannon Grant just picked up his 4th foul. Cryer makes his 4th 3 of the night. Houston 9 of 11 from deep.
Yeah, JoJo Tugler is just, he's like a live wire of electricity, right? It's just like he's always charged and moving and bouncing, and his energy is just freaking off the charts. He is going to figure it out on the offensive end. We saw him hit a 3. I would guess that's his first 3-point field goal attempt of his career, and certainly his first make. A light bulb is going to go off on the offensive end, and I'm telling you, this young man is going to be a beast.
As is Emmanuel Sharp, who hits the fadeaway. JoJo Tugler, he looks big on TV, but you have to see him in person to really appreciate all that he does physically.
He's just constantly moving. So watch him to the right of your screen and look where he is, and look who he's guarding. So he's guarding Shannon Grant, big wide body over here. The ability to get around in front, to deny, to get to the weak side, and his quickness. He can cover, he can leave his guy and be 10 steps away and close out by the time he gets there.
Roberts stripped for Uzan, trailing 3, Emmanuel Sharp. Off the mark, Tugler was fighting for the rebound. He's called for the foul. And remember, he didn't start playing basketball again until August. He and Terrence Arsenal rehabbed and then started playing again. So this is a rusty JoJo Tugler on show tonight in early November.
That exhibition game, he had 9 rebounds against A&M, who last year was the #1 rebounding team in the country. Out of those 9 rebounds, 8 of them were on the offensive end.
Here's Jalen Tatum against Sharp. Grant grabs the offensive board. 3-pointer from Reyna is off the mark. Uzan grabs the loose ball. He's fouled in the backcourt.
Reyna couldn't believe that he was open, right? He gave a little up fake, really nice, had time, and then rushed his shot. He is an excellent shooter, and that was a terrible looking shot.
Reyna played at Campbell. They lost the Big South Tournament Championship 2 years ago. He played 30 games on that year's team.
The Campbell Camels. Is that right?
Excellent name, yes.
I said that like I knew that.
Campbell Camels, North Carolina.
Pete Maravich's dad, Press Maravich, finished his career coaching at Campbell.
We learned your coaching knowledge. We heard about Nederland's high school basketball history, and you guys had the key. So my question for you, I meant to ask you before the air, see Mo Williams NBA accolades. Did you drive from Houston to Nederland just to take some shots?
Oh yeah, we spent a lot of time in Nederland gyms over the week. Nice pass by LJ Cryer. So my former roommate, his dad was the head coach at Nederland High School, so we had access to a gym anytime we wanted it.
A deep 3 off the mark. Reyna. Out to Grant, playing with 4 fouls. Mansell off the mark.
Yeah, terrific find by LJ Cryer. He's driving baseline, and look to the left of your screen. Juwan Roberts has his hands up, and he's presenting himself to the driving player. So oftentimes guys on the weak side have their hands down by their side, and if you have your hands down by your side, I'm telling you, it's going to be a turnover. So you present yourself, you present a target, and then you end up with another dunk.
Back-to-back dunks from Juwan Roberts, 6th-year senior.
27 points off of turnovers. 17 turnovers now for Jackson State. Boy, the Cougars did not come out complacent at all, did they?
Great entry pass there. Romel Mansell finds Shannon Grant. But if you think of Juwan Roberts and his story, coming from the Virgin Islands, moving to Texas, under-recruited, long wingspan, good motor, kind of the prototypical Kelvin Sampson recruits.
That's exactly right. I remember as a freshman talking to the coaching staff about him, and they said, we really like this freshman. We're going to redshirt him, but he's got an incredible nose for the ball. And that's how they described him, and boy, has that ever been true his entire career.
Milos Uzan in the paint. Great vision. That's another dunk. 3 in a row from Juwan Roberts.
Yeah, now with 14 points and 3 consecutive dunks. Boy, the Cougars have been so... You asked me to start the game, what did we learn about the Cougars? And it's how unselfish they've been in moving the ball. Milos Uzan with 8 assists in this game, and Juwan Roberts with not 1 dunk, not 2 dunks, but boy, he has 3 consecutive dunks in a row. And you play hard on one end and you're unselfish on the other, and good things happen.
Including a few years in Cleveland where he played with LeBron James, or as he likes to joke, LeBron played with him. A lot of special memories from that time, but one that sticks out was when his son Mike and LeBron's son Bronny would be up at the practice court every home game shooting around together. Both of them from a young age more focused on their own craft rather than watching their dads play. Coach Williams proud to see Bronny reach his ultimate goal of getting to the NBA and hopes his son will too. Mike is currently a senior in high school and is committed to play for his dad next year at Jackson State.
Good stuff, Austin. He's a 3-star recruit, and younger brother Mason undecided.
Yeah, so play that out for me. So he's got a younger son that he said, I've offered a scholarship to him, and he's undecided. So you're sitting at the table at Thanksgiving, and Dad says, hey, son, who put the food on this table? Who put the clothes on your back? Whoa, what? Walk me through this whole undecided thing again, right? Golly. He's got one son on his coaching staff over there, so it's a Williams family affair.
Well, he did talk about how he's going to leave it up to him, as you said, maybe a little bit of pressure. But we asked Kelvin Sampson about his own recruitment of his own son, Kellen, when he was at Oklahoma. And he gave credit to Kelvin Sampson, said from an early age, even in high school, he knew he wanted to be a college basketball coach someday, as Mylik Wilson flies in for the dunk.
Milos Uzan will not get credited with an assist there, but he should have. Terrific ball movement. He has always got his head up, and if they give it to him, he will be 1 assist away from a new career high. Had 10 assists last year against TCU. He's also one steal away from a career high that he had in January of last year against Texas.
So what is your percentage that the younger son doesn't end up at Jackson State?
I go back to who's paying his gas money, who's paying his phone bill, and, a lot of talk about NIL money, and we're not talking NIL money. We're talking like existent.
Tough decision forthcoming for Mason Williams. 2 of his 7 sons currently playing high school basketball. And very interesting with Kellen because he went to Oklahoma to play for his dad, preferred walk-on, but then Kelvin went to Indiana and Kellen stayed at Oklahoma to kind of finish what he started as a college basketball player. Good spin and finish there from Jalen Tatum.
Jalen Tatum, that was a nice aggressive move to the basket. Yeah, they did give Milos Uzan an assist on that. He's now up to 9. Good move.
Put back from Ced Lot after the missed layup from Emmanuel Sharp. We see Emmanuel Sharp get to the basket. He was easily the most fouled player last season for Houston. He took 134 free throws last year, 30 more than Jamal Shed, 64 more than Cryer. So if you think about his game, he is excellent at just attacking and drawing fouls.
And shot 85% from the free throw line when he got there.
And we have heard from Kelvin Sampson about Emmanuel Sharp as he draws a foul here. I think his freshman year, he was a spot shooter. They want him more in the pick and roll offense this season.
He's an interesting player because you look at him and you think, well, he doesn't look quick, and yet he is he's deceptively explosive. It is amazing how many times he gets past his defender.
Uzan missed from the corner. And I think a lot of his role last year was decided by Jamal Shead. He just took over the offense the last third of last season. So maybe we didn't see the full array of options for Sharp. There's a nice three from the corner. And Dorian Mitchell, the freshman from Pascagoula High School in Mississippi.
Yeah, Mo Williams and the coaching staff really high on their freshman Dorian McMillan.
Mississippi Alabama MVP last year, 6A Player of the Year in the state of Mississippi. It's a big get for Jackson State and Dorian McMillan. And there is the Emmanuel Sharp Reno, the deep three.
Excellent ball movement. Excellent ball movement.
Jump ball forced. Houston is now 10 of 14 from beyond the arc tonight.
Emmanuel Sharp with ridiculous range, but look at the ball movement. I mean, that ball is not sticking in anybody's hand. And you keep going back to what Kelvin Sampson told Austin Ivan going into the locker room. You play hard on one end and unselfish on the other.
Houston ball, last touched off the knee of Dorian McMillan. Yeah, Dorian McMillan had 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists in the Southern Miss game. Jackson State led 19 early in the second half of that game, but lost in overtime. Turnover there, Arsenault tried to slip it inside to Ted Lotz. Houston leading 70-23, 10 of 14 from deep, 59% from the field. Cryer has 16, Roberts with 14 tonight. Welcome back, 70-23, Houston over Jackson State. Let's go back down to the court with Austin Ivan.
Coach Sampson announced L.J. Cryer and J1 Roberts as captains of this team back in June. But before the summer was over, he also decided to add Emmanuel Sharp. Coach said when Emmanuel first arrived on campus, he wasn't captain material. But over the last 3 years, not only has he developed as a player, but also a leader. Emmanuel now has that Houston Cougar DNA and is why Coach selected him as a captain. Watching him out on the court, you can see him using his voice, picking up his teammates and holding them accountable. Those are the things Coach expects out of his captain.
Coaches choose captains, players choose leaders. And that is exactly what Emmanuel Sharp is. He has earned that title through the leadership and the respect that he has earned from his teammates.
Another one of those leaders has entered, Ramon Walker Jr., wearing number 3 for Houston. Said Lott commits the foul. It's Lott, Mylik Wilson, Walker, Uzan, and Lott on the floor.
Said Lott has been really active and done a lot of good things in this game. He's got 4 points. He has 3 offensive rebounds, but he's been so active for Coach Sampson. Has done a nice job of recovering and trying to help. And you know, this Houston team is going to need 4 big men in their rotation. If they're going to make a run at a national championship, which they certainly have the potential to do, and they will be in that conversation, you need 4 post players.
Dylan Cannaville misses the first, transfer from Southeastern Louisiana, where he averaged 11 minutes per game last season. Uzan runs the offense once again. Arsenault. Missed the fadeaway. Jackson State with possession. Marcus Watson Jr. Deflected pass. Stays with the Tigers.
Ramon Walker just does so many good things on the floor, and it won't show up. That was outstanding transition defense. Jackson State had a lane. They were bringing it down on the sideline. They had a clean shot to the basket, and Ramon Walker rotated over, completely stopped the dribble penetration, forced the Tigers to reverse the ball to the other side of the court.
Sedlot limping back to the bench. Coaching staff asking if he's okay. Mansell, good feed inside. Grant was fouled. Sandwiched between Tugler and Ramon Walker Jr.
Yeah, I think he looked like he just kind of lost his balance, right? It's been a frustrating night for the big fella for Jackson State.
Second foul on Tugler. Contested three off the glass and then the rim. Tipped by Mansell. Rebounded by Mylik Wilson. Mylik Wilson also in his 6th year of college basketball. Originally from Rayville, Louisiana. Played at Texas Tech in Louisiana before Houston. Uzan misses the three. Tugler has another offensive rebound.
You got a mismatch out here.
Corner three, Ramon Walker off the mark. Mansell rebounds. Tugler's hands affected that play once again. His hands are everywhere. Tugler's 6'8", but a much longer wingspan. Wilson hits the mid-range.
I need to come up with what that science experiment is, you know, where you have the ball and electricity is just shooting off of it. Whatever that is, that's what I'm going to start calling JoJo.
It's been a while since I've been to a science fair. Wish I could help you out, Reed.
Yeah, you left me hanging.
And there is Tugler coming over for another dunk. A magnet to every ball on defense for JoJo Tugler.
Probably wouldn't be very good TV if I just started going zzz, zzz.
Tugler thought about the three.
He sure did.
Well, you talked about it last broadcast, how sometimes he feels like he has to shoot, as we see Uzan there. It's looked a little different tonight. That three he made in the first half, that looked a lot more natural from Tugler.
Caught it in rhythm and didn't think about it. And he does the same thing when he's posting up. He turns and he kind of gets going too fast and he doesn't have his feet underneath him. And, you know, I know I've said it twice already, but I'm going to say it again. One of these games, it's going to click offensively, and he is going to be an absolute terror.
Another rebound for JoJo Tugler. He's the most fouled player on the floor for Houston. He's been fouled 5 times tonight, and Houston calls time.
Yeah, Milos Uzan has now tied his career high in assists with 10 and steals with 4.
A big one coming up for the Cougars as they take on Auburn, a perennial Sweet 16 team. They're number 11 in the preseason poll, and that's in the Mattress Firm Battleground 2K24 at Toyota Center. And that's coming up this weekend. And then Louisiana and Hofstra at home, and then a title weight fight on TBS, Alabama number 2. Remember the game in Tuscaloosa a few years ago? I think Jawan Roberts had 9 offensive rebounds in that game. Houston thought there was a goaltend at the end.
Yeah, I remember that right at the buzzer.
And Jamal Shed showed his leadership in the tunnel on the way to the locker room as we see Jackson State's upcoming schedule. A lot of ats on the schedule, 13 in a row, including tonight. And look at this travel to High Point, North Carolina. Then a few days later, Cincinnati for Xavier, on the road at Vanderbilt, Western Kentucky. And then Lexington to take on number 23, Kentucky.
You travel that much, you play that many consecutive games on the road, and you got to have a really good support system, right? These kids are in class. You got to have a tutor traveling with you. And, well, that is a lot of time on the road.
They like to find a nice steak dinner on the road. They find Topgolfs wherever they go. Anything to kind of break up the monotony of a 13-city road trip in the non-conference portion of the season for Jackson State. Marcus Watson Jr. grew up in Chicago, Morgan Park High School. Running the offense here.
Good
and
high-low.
Sell got the roll.
Yeah, really good high-low set and good execution. A nice pass by Shannon Grant. First time we've seen his passing. Mo Williams always brags on what a nice passer he is and their ability to run the offense through Grant.
Shannon Grant preseason all SWAC. Wilson back for Arcedo. And Wilson's fouled.
Sometimes Mylik Wilson dribbles that ball too high. He's got it up way over his waist, almost to his number. And I know Kelvin Sampson would like to see him get down lower. And he's so athletic and so quick and can turn the corner. And he just got that ball too high.
Miller gets his own miss, then he uses the window, the freshman from Sherman Oaks, California.
He can put up points in a hurry.
Four-star recruit Mercy Miller. Corner three, he's heating up here in the second half. Romel Mansell, 3 years at Long Beach State, and now thriving at Jackson State. Ramon Walker, back for Mercy Miller. Arcedo with 6 to shoot. Miller, shot fake. And he hits as the shot clock expires.
The composure and the poise, he caught that ball. His eyes went up to the shot clock. He knew he had time for an up fake and then a step to the left. That is beautiful basketball.
Mercy Miller, Notre Dame High School. He led them to the 6A state title, first in program history. They beat Granada of Livermore. That team had Caleb Foster, now at Duke, and Dusty Stromer, now at Gonzaga on it. Quite the team, 6A state champs in California.
You know, averaged 30 points per game, nine rebounds, 4 assists. Had a district game in which he scored 68 points. I went 2 months in high school without scoring 68 points. Boy, Mansell's looked good here the last 3 minutes, hasn't he?
He has made the last 3 shots for Jackson State. Had a foot issue last year. Compared to Joakim Noah, as you mentioned in the first half, high basketball IQ. Arcedo misses the mid-range. Marcus Watson Jr. Tatum will get to the free throw line.
Now, Mercy Miller does not take him long to put up shots. Look at the poise and composure. He catches the ball, he looks up and knows he has time to up fake, knocks down a shot. 7 points for the freshman in not very many minutes. That's a beautiful play by Mercy Miller.
Didn't evaluate Milos to see if he could play point guard for Houston. They evaluated him because he is a point guard, a natural ball mover, and is great in transition. He's still adjusting to the physicality Houston plays with on a nightly basis, but coach said Milos wants to be great and is a quick learner. A complete performance for the point guard tonight in his Houston debut. 8 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists, and 4 steals.
Yeah, I'd say flirting with a triple-double is a pretty good debut. New career highs for Milos in assists, or he ties a career high, 10 assists and 4 steals. He has been terrific.
And a quick footnote, he's the first Houston Cougar basketball player to ever wear number 7. And Reed, you can explain why.
I don't know what year they started the rule, but back in the day, you could not have any single digit higher than 5 on your uniform. So you could have 55, but you couldn't have a 6 or 7. And the reason is because when officials call a foul and they go over to the table, they have to be able to hold up one hand. So like if you had 17, it'd take you a while to put up a 1 and then a 5 and then a 2, and then it becomes really difficult. I don't know when that rule changed, but probably a rule we didn't need, right? The other one was that went away is that you used to always wear even numbers at home and odd numbers on the road. And that one made sense because you're in a loud arena. When the ref says foul on 44, that was me. It was usually a foul on me. When they say a foul on 44, they don't have to say 44 white or 44 blue. They can just say 44 and you know who it was on.
And you wore 45 on the road, if I'm not mistaken.
I did.
Walker has a three-point play opportunity.
In fact, my number 44 is hanging in the rafters here at Fertitta Center. It says Elvin Hayes on the back of it.
Yes.
But it's my 44. Or at least that's what my kids thought growing up until they learned to read.
Do you remember the year his 44 was retired?
I don't.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I know it was after 1985.
Yes.
That's all I know for sure.
Now Jeff Conrad sharing that number 7 detail with us. Excellent SID in charge of men's basketball communications for Houston. Now Lott grabs the loose ball. It's Miller, Lott, Wilson, Walker, and Jefferson on the floor. Cordelius Jefferson gets his first minutes of the night, and you see Miller rising at his shot block, but the putback is there from Wilson.
If you're Mo Williams, you take solace in the fact that the score in the second half is 34-21. And that's the positive that if you're Jackson State, you take away from this game.
First minutes tonight for Cordelius Jefferson, redshirt freshman. Went to Arlington Martin High School, had surgery on both wrists in the summer of 2023. He missed last season. Here he is taking a corner three, and it's a bit long. He was the first Dallas recruit to sign with Houston since. Here he is flying over for the block, but call for the foul.
Wait, let me think.
First Dallas recruit to sign with Houston since.
I don't.
He's in the NBA now.
Who am I not thinking of?
Marcus Sasser.
Ah, very nice. From South Oak, right?
Yep. All Cougars under 4 lefts in Fertitta Center. .358 left in the second half. Sasha having a good time firing up this home crowd on opening nights. Now Texas A&M tonight lost to UCF by 3 on the road. We'd heard about their tough schedule, maybe the hardest non-conference in the country.
Yeah, that surprises me. A&M's really good, and the exhibition game, I don't think anybody expected the Cougars to dominate the Aggies the way they did. I mean, it was not close, and it was a physical domination, and that surprised me. So Buzz Williams has got his work cut out for him, but that is a talented team. Pharrell Payne, a big guy, transferred from Minnesota. Boy, you put him out on the floor with Wade Taylor, and that is a very talented basketball team.
2 free throws made by Juan Reyna, fifth-year senior from San Antonio, played at Duncanville. Well-traveled, he had 14 minutes in the exhibition. Good feed inside from Jefferson, but then Said Lott stepped on the baseline.
Well, that's pretty good hands by Big Said Lott. I mean, that pass was rifled and was not a very good pass. And, well, he went up, looked like a tight end. Maybe the softest hands I've seen him display.
Reyna, a deep three off the mark. Jefferson grabs the rebound. top 100 player was Cordelius Jefferson coming out of Arlington Martin. Chose Houston over Tennessee, Texas Tech, and Texas A&M.
Shot clock at 5.
5 left. Miller will inbound. Into Mylik Wilson. Wilson tries a 3 and hits.
Well, Mylik Wilson's looked really good on the offensive end in this game. Very calm, very under control, and he's had a nice game this evening.
Called upon at times last year after the injuries to Tugler and Arsenault. Side of the backboard from Romel Mansell.
13 points from Mylik Wilson. And just look, this is shot clock running down and very poised and has been shooting a nice high percentage. And he's 6 for 8 in this game.
A lot of experience from Mylik Wilson as 124th college game tonight. 6th-year senior from Louisiana. Jefferson with the pull-up.
Wow. Boy, Mansell was right in his face, and Romel Mansell is 6'9" and athletic and bouncy. That was a nice shot by Cordelius Jefferson.
Offensive rebound grabbed by Shannon Grant, who draws a foul.
You know, it was a nice on-the-ball screen, and I thought they were trying to create a mismatch, and they did, and then Kelvin Sampson sees his young freshman just pull straight up over the defensive player.
First free throw good from Shannon Grant. A long trek to Jackson State. Mercer, Florida A&M, and now Jackson State for the Alabama native. We talked about first recruit from Dallas with Houston is Cordelius Jefferson. Jefferson is wearing number 0, previously worn by Marcus Sasser.
Wow, very nice.
As is that shot from Ramon Walker Jr.
Now double figures for Ramon in this game, 10 points. Good pass.
Here's Jefferson with the layup.
It is now 19 assists on 38 made field goals.
Timeout call by Jackson State with 1:33 left.
I'm impressed by Percy Miller. He had his head up. Look at him. The best pass in basketball is always the easiest pass. You got somebody open ahead of you, pass the ball up.
Now this team is built to win now, Reed. We know that with 4 returning starters. You have a 5th-year senior in LJ Cryer, a 6th-year senior in Juwan Roberts, but the future is bright. We're seeing some of the young guns getting an opportunity tonight. A redshirt freshman, Cordelius Jefferson, finishing that feat from a true freshman in Mercy Miller.
Well, and the coaching staff rants and raves about Chase McCarty. We have not seen Chase in this game, but boy, they just love his skill set and his work ethic and his attitude. He wants to be coached. He wants to get better. So you're right, Kelvin and the staff, they just keep reloading year after year.
Chase McCarty from Huntsville, Alabama, played at IMG Academy, top 100 in the ESPN 100 list. He's won a few three-point competitions. He was recruited by Georgia Tech, Kansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Missouri, and Texas Tech, and he chose Houston. Now, Chase McCarty waiting in the wings. His Houston teammates have done the job tonight. 12 of 19 from downtown are the Cougars, 63% from deep.
And it's the points off turnovers that have been the story in this game. Cougars have forced 21 turnovers, and right now the scoring off of those turnovers, 35-4.
Shannon Grant with a handoff for Juan Reyna.
Good defense by Sedlaw. Did a nice job. The Tigers were trying that high-low entry pass, and well, I tell you what, Sed did a nice job of fighting over the top, and then he went over and helped and bellied up and went straight up in the air, and nice job.
The new AD, Eddie Nunez, joined Houston this summer from New Mexico. He's all smiles. His football team has won back-to-back games, and his men's basketball team is number 4 in the first poll.
How about Willie Fritz? Huh? I mean, that guy, he just keeps mixing and matching and changing and trying to put kids in a position to be successful. I love the Kansas State coach said, you know, they're a hard team to prepare for because we don't really know their identity. Well, guess what? Willie Fritz just keeps changing it, right? And the culture that he's established, boy, Mylik Wilson with another dunk on a dribble penetration. But golly, I am so high on Willie Fritz right now.
We had him at halftime right after his appointment as Houston football coach. He was recruiting that day, was recruiting the next day, and his Houston Cougars are now thinking about bowl eligibility at 4-5 after 9 games.
That's crazy. The way the season started, and it was just like, what, you know, who are we? What are we? And well, the defense has been great. Special teams has been good. I'm so excited about the foundation that Willie Fritz has put into place.
He was known as a developer of talent, developer of players. We're seeing the in-season development for the Houston Cougars under Willie Fritz.
Mylik Wilson is 1 point away from being the leading scorer in this game.
A quiet 15 points for Wilson, 7 of 9 from the field in only 20 minutes. And here's the question for you. Who do the students ask for now with Ryan Elvin's graduation?
I think you still ask for Ryan Elvin, right? You just start chanting, "We want Ryan."
Miller misses the 3. Final 28 seconds inside Fertitta Center. This is the 100th game here. And as the seconds tick away, Jawan Roberts will pass his old friend Jamal Shed for the most wins inside this building. They were tied at 62-3 inside Fertitta Center. And this will be the 63rd win for Jawan Roberts, the 6th-year senior from St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands.
Against Texas A&M, if there was one statistic that had room for improvement, it was free throw shooting. Cougars really struggled from the free throw line. They did so many good things here tonight, one of them being 100% perfect from the free throw line.
Cryer had 16. Mylik Wilson had 15 off the bench. Jawan Roberts, 14 points, 6 rebounds as he comes the winningest player in Fertitta Center history. Ramon Walker Jr., 10 points, 4 of 6 from the field, plus 4 rebounds off the bench. Milos Uzan, nearly a triple-double, 8 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds in 26 minutes with only 2 turnovers.
Yes, he was terrific. If we were giving out a player of the game, that's who I would choose.
Now to the court with Austin Ivan.
Coach, Milos Uzan with the near triple-double tonight, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists, 4 steals. Why did you believe that he would fit in at Houston?
He's unselfish, got a high basketball IQ, and I thought our culture could really help him.
Jawan Roberts became the winningest player here inside the Fertitta Center tonight. How has he made an impact in those 63 wins he's been a part of?
Well, Jawan's a winner. He's got winning DNA. Not everybody does. He's very selfless. You know, being selfless doesn't mean you think less of yourself. Just think more of others, and he embodies that more than any kid I've ever coached.
During that span, he's 63-3. You guys have the longest active winning streak here at home. What makes this place such a difficult place for opponents to come play at?
2 things. Number 1, we're really good. But number 2, our fans provide a tremendous environment because they love coming out and supporting us.
Well, a really good win tonight, Coach. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Houston getting production up and down the roster. 7 rebounds apiece for Uzan and JoJo Tugler. Tugler was over plus 40 in his time. And we go back to Austin Ivan, who is with the winningest player in Fertitta Center history.
Jaywan, they just said you are the winningest player here inside the Fertitta Center. Do you know what your record is here on this court?
No, honestly, I don't know.
63-3.
I give credit to my teammates. I don't take no credit for that. I give credit to all my teammates for putting me in a position to win.
How much pride does this team take in protecting home court?
Oh, this is our baby right here. You know, anybody that comes in here, we try to give them the hardest fight. We try not to lose at home. You know, it leaves a bad taste in our mouth. So just coming out here and competing in front of our fans, it just gives us a boost.
Tonight there was a span where you had 3 consecutive dunks. How were you able to get deep past that Jackson State defense tonight?
Just playing with a lot of energy and trusting my teammates going to give me the ball when I run. So just try to get a lot of turnovers and just run.
A good win tonight to start the season. How does a game like this set the tone for the rest of the year?
It just shows how good we can be, you know, defensively, and just one game at a time. So we're going to take this one and just get better tomorrow.
Congratulations. Thanks so much. Good win.
Thanks, Austin. Thanks, Jawan. Thank you to